Everybody, welcome back to another day, another episode. I'm your host, 39SG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about the SteamMachine. Lots of articles talking about the reviews, talking about the prices. We're going to talk about, is it worth it? Who's it for? We're also going to talk about AI will enhance PlayStation's experience is a bold claim, and Xbox would be roasted for it, saying the same thing. From Windows Central, we're going to talk about that as well. We're also going to talk about Marvel Rivals sequel retain free-to-play status, but go open world. It's not exactly what you think, but we'll talk about that as well. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just cover news stories, have conversations, read the stories for the first time on stream, give my thoughts and opinions, then we get your thoughts and opinions as well. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. What's going on, chat? Let me see who's all here. Astrif, good morning. Eclipse, good morning. Travis, good morning. Just Enough. Ward, Shadow, Wonder Rose, Mr. Z, Altern, Brain Eclipse. Who am I missing? Anybody else? Astrif, thank you very much for the $1. It's not dollar. It's is that pounds? I don't know what that is. Oh, for God's sakes! I'm sorry. Thank you very much for the one. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out. What's going on, Drummond? Good morning. What's going on, Mo? Good morning. What's happening right now? Is the music still going? It's a Euro. Thank you. Oh, I don't know what the hell happened there for a second. I lost everything. It went blank. It's like my computer had a blip. I was like, what the hell's going on? It's a Euro. Thank you very much. All right, what else we got? Did I miss anybody? Crowded, good morning. I forgot about Crowded. My bad, Crowded. All right. So, something happened yesterday. It's funny. It's like we end the show at 1 yesterday, right? It was and then shortly after, let's say about an hour afterwards, Steam announces the price of the SteamMachine, puts it out there. Now, obviously, it's not out yet. You can sign up which one you're interested in, and then they're going to open it up on the 25th, okay? But, man, let me tell you, those prices, not that I was thinking it was going to be $600 or anything like that, right? There's our reports that it was supposed to be $750 or whatever. And that would have made the blow a little less, because I could look at it and go $750 for what it is. That's basically what you're paying for an Xbox or a PlayStation right now, or around about. But it started at $1,050 or $1,049, and then it went up to $1,400. And I was like, "Yep, well there goes that." No one's gonna. I don't want to say no one. Obviously, people are going to buy it, but they are pricing themselves out of the market. And which is funny because the last time Steam came into the market was 2012 when they had the other, what was it called, the Steam Link or whatever it was. They had the other box back in the day, and I think it was in 2012, and that didn't sell very good for them. Who would have thought that the Steam Deck, before it raised the price up, was the best bang for your buck? It really was. For a mobile device and for what it is for Steam, it's probably the best thing out there. And they kind of priced themselves out. Now, this is from Kotaku. We have a couple of different articles here. SteamMachine reviews are in, and they're far from glowing. There is no path that I can trace that will lead to acceptable performance on this hardware. All right, so Valve has an impossible task of making a budget gaming PC at the time of exploding costs. All right, so the SteamMachine is finally here. People can sign up to get on the waiting list for the first units to ship, and reviewers have already gone hands-on with the Valve's new device. It's pricey, but is it worth it? The coverage so far runs that people are impressed with the ingenuity of the display of these disappointing overall performance given at the cost. Now, IGN's Jacqueline Thomas called it the best living room PC I've ever used. Well, how many living room PCs have you used? I mean, you could take a regular PC and bring it into your living room, and that would probably be the best living room PC, despite being a bit weaker than any other of the base consoles. Now, PC gamer Andy Atzer was much less enthusiastic. The first question you need to ask yourself is, a hardware reviewer, is this: would I buy one? he wrote. And despite the little black box, lovely design, excellent controller, and sheer curiosity of value, an answer is no. Okay. The devil in the frame rate. If you want the gaming PC, it can run games up to 60 frames with ray tracing turned on. The Steam Machine might not be for you. In fact, some reviewers are struggling to get 60 frames per second in newer games, even on medium graphic settings with ray tracing turned off. The big pitch from Valve was that the device would run many Steam games at 60 frames in 4K, thanks in part of the frame generation. But some big games like last month's 007 First Light might struggle to match consistency in the fuss-free experience of the version optimized for console. Now, at a minimum of preset, IGN got Cyberpunk 2077 and Forza Horizon 6 to run around 60 frames per second. Death Stranding 2 was hitting around 45 frames per second. 007 First Light was just under 60 frames per second. And that's not quite the same locked 60 frames that was PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X gets. But those consoles typically use dynamic resolution in games, which means the resolution will scale up or down in order to maintain a locked frame, reported IGN. Therein might lie one of the challenges for the Steam Machine. You're paying for a PC price for hardware that can outperform consoles, but only when the game is tuned into it, and even if it's not necessary in that way, it will blow these consoles out of the water. Now, the Steam Machine delivers what we call a ballpark entry-level performance for the mainstream PC capable of running the latest titles and recent resolutions, wrote Digital Foundry's Richard Ledbetter. Right? This means that while 1440p is viable output resolution, with upscaling depending on the title settings, management is key to getting the good experience. Linus Tech Tips was harsher. He says, there is no path that I can trace that will lead to acceptable performance on this hardware, especially in the light of Valve's unqualified claims of 4K 60 frames per second, which still wouldn't be a huge problem if it wasn't for the big white elephant, the PlayStation 5. Linus says, on the paper, the Steam Machine has a PlayStation 5 trade blows, but in real life, I'm sorry, Valve, but it doesn't just quite seem to work out that way. The good news is that despite being the smallest video game console since the GameCube, the Steam Machine apparently runs pretty cool and very silent. Reviewers praise the internal motherboard design and swappable faceplates, but it's getting killed on the dollar per frame metric, where there's also reviewers are saying so far, note, Kotaku will have its own review on Steam Machine in the weeks ahead. All right, so here's some reviews. The Verge says, what really kills it for me is they trust the Steam Machine is properly suspend my games when I put it in sleep 3 times. I've left the game running and found out exactly where I left off 12 or 14 hours later. But there are other times I find my game sessions gone. At once I found my TV running in the middle of the night. Valve nailed it with the Steam Deck, so I'm hoping it's just a matter of time. Digital Foundry says, how much is it? How powerful is it? Are you better off building your own PC? That's the question we're going to go over today. We've been hands-on with Steam Machine for just under a couple of weeks. Now the final have some answers. However, while the PC built from the existing AMD parts and fully comparable with the existing PC technology, there are more Steam Machines, tiny, virtual, silent, beautiful design. It's simply irresistible design. Imagine if a taller Nintendo Cube, and also have some idea on how tiny it is, will perform falling into line with that kind of output you'll get from the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5. And then IGN says at $1,049 and $1,349 for the 2 terabyte model, the Steam Machine seems like it'd be a hard to recommend to most people. And while you're also true for console faithfuls, the Steam Machine price makes it an incredibly entry-level gaming PC, especially if all the drivers and settings tweaking had turned you off in the past. At the end of the day, this gaming PC is the most people are going to be able to just plug into their TV and get it right into the game. And really, that's what the Steam Machine was always meant to be. PC Gamer, Valve attempts to bring the PC gaming to your living room with well-intentions, but ugly realities of the memory crisis have left it in a hefty price tag. If you had more grunt, it'd be easier to recommend, but off to the boil, GPU and plenty of software quirks leave it feeling a little bit expensive, rather than the gaming device for the masses. Eurogamer says, but when you get some trade-offs here again, compared to the actual gaming PC, the Steam Machine might be dramatically prettier and quicker, or quieter, and probably more effective. Okay, performance-wise, per square inch and PC, you could also personally build. It also comes pre-built itself, but it's far less upgradable. It really is the only RAM and storage that you can upgrade here, and it's unlikely any other desktop gaming PCs, indeed laptops, and the Steam Machine really in the frozen in time. Aftermath here says the Steam Machine is not landing where the creators planned. It's price-wise, but the core vision is realized in something I agree ideologically in the platform's true sense of the word. A foundation to build on. Likely the Steam Deck, it provides a reasonable target for game developers to aim for, a reasonable optimization baseline that can also handle basically every indie game, a huge portion of big titles, and a rare console that does not treat users like a child. I have no doubt that it will also be improved with age, and like Valve's original vision of SteamMachine and reality of the Steam Deck, and the template that other manufacturers could easily build much more performative product on with the operating system that has multiple meanings of the word free. Tom's Hardware is the last one here. It says, you can also get many benefits from the Steam Machine on other devices if you have an effective gaming PC or laptop. The Steam Big Picture mode will do most of the work there. Valve is also working on bringing Steam OS to more machines through currently only working on Radeon GPUs. But if you also want something small for the living room for plays for years and Steam titles and maybe even also a cute little wooden faceplate, the Steam Machine is for you. But you should go understanding its limitations. So I was the person that was the clientele for this. Okay. I stream on one PC. Okay. I stream and play games. When I play on PC games, it struggles for me, right? This is why I was looking towards getting a Steam Machine. I was like, oh, Steam Machine. I was like, I'll pick this up. I'll just play my games because just like my Xbox, I play it and then stream it to my PC. It's much better for your experience when you're watching me play games because it works well for me and it doesn't bog down the stream or anything like that. But when I play PC games, certain games I can't play the high-end PC games when I'm streaming on my PC because it makes it a shitty experience for you guys. It stutters and stuff. So I was like, oh, you know what? The Steam Machine is a perfect machine for me, all depending on where the price comes in. Now the price is here, okay? The price is here, and with the 14, let me get the machine price up. Do I have the prices here? They don't have the price on that one. I'll go. Let's go to. Let me get to the Steam Machine's page. All right. So we have the Steam Machine it starts at $1,049. Okay, $1,049, and this I was interested if it was around $600, $700. Now I know a lot of people are like, you're dreaming, thinking that it was supposed to be there, right? Well, we could always dream. Okay, I believe that Steam could lose money on the console because of how profitable their company is and to break into the market. Okay. I've said in the past streams and stuff like that, maybe they would have it cheaper for people that were the diehard type of stuff, and then they'll raise it up down the road, but get the people on the inside. What they've done here, okay, and again, you might be in the market for one, you might think this is the best thing. This is a really steep price for what the storage and stuff is in here, and you're not getting a great system, okay? I paid, okay, just to put it out there, my system is 10 years old. Okay, my computer, when I first bought it, was 10 years old. Okay, it was 2016 when I bought it. I upgraded about 2.5 years ago the graphics card. I put more RAM in it, and I put a new power supply in it. Okay, with that upgrade, my computer from when I purchased it, I think it was a $1,200 computer when I purchased it way back when, which is what this is right here. Now, my computer right now still does what this thing does. I can play games and high frame rate and stuff like that. Again, certain games. Okay, when I'm not streaming. But when I'm streaming, it struggles. So I can't fathom paying this price, $1,428, for a worse version of what I have at that price. Now, sure, would it be easier to play for me? Absolutely, right? But this is a steep price to ask, and this opens Pandora's box for Sony and Xbox and maybe Nintendo down the road, where the PlayStation 6 and the next, Xbox Helix comes in, and this is where they want to be, okay? This is where they want to be. Now, unfortunately, you're paying more money here, and the PlayStation 5 Pro is cheaper. Now, yes, you don't have access to the Steam library and stuff like that. So there is niche markets here that people, if you want Steam, I can't even recommend this for somebody if you're buying this for your kid, right? And you want to get them into PCs, right? You could just save up a little bit more, and for the price of $14.28, you can make yourself a computer. And maybe it won't be the best computer, but at the same time, you're going to get a lot more out of that than you would of this machine. And there's no upgradables of this, right? And I know a lot of people talk about, well, PCs is, $2,000, $4,000 or whatever. And that's not true. If you just want a pretty decent gaming machine, right? If you want 4K graphics and all the other stuff, yeah, sure. But for the most part, the average person, if you spend $1,400 on a PC, you can make yourself a pretty damn good PC without all the bells and whistles, but you would have a better experience because you can go down the road, and instead of 5 years down the road buying another $600, $700 gaming or console, you could just upgrade your graphics card. You could just upgrade your RAM. And I know that the RAM crisis, they say, is going to last to about 2028. Well, this is going to be a kick in the nuts for these companies because this is not going to sell. They're going to tell you it's selling well or whatnot, and people are going to buy it. But this is not going to sell. This was never going to be a mass market machine anyway. It could have been if it was priced right, but now it's not, right? People that are going to buy it are going to buy it, which these are the people that always buy all the electronics. These are the content creators. These are the people that have more money than actual time, and they're like, hey, yeah, I'll buy it and I'll play it because they like the newest technology. But for the average gamer, this is not going to happen. They didn't want to pay $700, $800 for the consoles. They're not going to pay $1,400 or $1,000 for these systems. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Are you in the ballpark, or I should say, are you in? Are you one of the people that are going to pick this up and buy it if you can? Or are you going to wait and sit back? Or have you thought differently now because you're like, well, that's kind of a bit. I might just save up a little bit more and make my own PC. Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. Give me your thoughts on the Steam Machine. All right, let me see what you guys are talking about here. Let me scroll back up. Let's see. Aku says, I've read a bunch of performance reviews, and most of them are literal morons. The PlayStation 5 family renders between 200 for 1080p and upscales to the screen resolution. The Steam Machine renders native, slightly less native than the FSR. You have to know how to set up the SM to have it render similar to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Sarge says, has anyone priced out a component of a Steam Machine yet? Eclipse Pro did one and posted it in Discord yesterday. I guess I'll wait until the crisis ends and prices go back down. That's what I was thinking, Saint. But here's the thing. Are they ever going to go down? Sorry about that, guys. All right. So let me see what you guys are saying. Ron says PlayStation 6 will be $1,500. Yeah, like the price is mind-boggling to me because I don't think these prices are going to go down, right? Saint said, I'll wait till the prices go down. I don't think they're going to go back down. I don't think they're going to go back down. Especially if people buy this, right? Even though this is Steam and people like Steam and people buy these things, this is just like Grand Theft Auto, right? If people buy a $100 video game, okay, we don't know what the price is yet, just speculative, right? But if people buy a $100 video game, the industry is like, oh, people buy a $100 video game. If people buy this system and it sells out, this is a signal to Sony. This is a signal to Microsoft. Oh, look, what we can price ours at. Saint says you could turn your old PC into a Steam machine. Basically, my old PC is already a Steam machine. Do you know what I mean? So what we've been talking about now is instead of, because I was going to buy this and then use that instead of using my game, like my PC to game, I was going to use this, right? But now what we've done, I think what we've talked myself into is that just replace the parts. I need a new motherboard. My computer bottlenecks at my motherboard. So I have to buy a new motherboard, a couple little other tweaks, and my system's fine then, right? And I'd rather do that. I'd rather spend $600 in upgrading the machine that I have than paying $600 for this or $1,000 for this. You know what I mean? Ron says, unfortunately, the enthusiast gamers will buy no matter the price. It's very true. Saint says, buy someone's old PC. It'll be cheaper and better. It's true. I could go that route as well. Jesse Mack says, nobody's going to be buying the Steam Machine. You can build your own PC way more cheaper price to compare to the consoles. SSD prices going up too. It says gamers would have to bought hardware before the price jump. Krebsy says this is where they want to be. That's what the price of the hardware, so no one buys it. Xbox and Sony want their price as low as possible. Well, we've always talked about the cloud gaming and stuff like that. They want to go data centers. They want your monthly fees. If you buy it, you buy it. You know what I mean? If you buy the high-end system and you want to own the system, you can. But they're probably going to go the cloud route, right? Most of these companies. Drummond says, I passed it on this 30 NSG. They can keep that mess of a device. I hope you and your chat do the same. Don't support. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely not Drummond. I'm not picking this up. Just Max says, Steam Machine is just wasting their money and then making new hardware, by the way. It's mind-boggling to me, and I get it. Prices went up. If I was Steam, I understand why they wouldn't hold it back, right? Because you're going to get the people that are going to buy it regardless. You're going to get the people that buy it regardless. But if I was them, because in the long run, like, let's just think about this now, right? 4 years from now, is someone going to pick up the Steam Machine, and is the price going to go down? Or is the price going to go up like it did with PlayStation and Xbox and stuff like that, right? I understand the crisis. We don't know what happens 5 years from now. There could be another crisis. Something else could happen. Time moves fast. Electronics move fast. Technology moves fast. So do you think this price will ever go down? I don't think so. Especially if the amount of the systems they made gets sold. Sarge says they will say it's sold well because it will be in relation to how many units they released. It'll be the only way it sounds positive. Ashraf says, I wouldn't even pay Monopoly money for this underperforming hardware. Moose name Jabin says, priced is right for what it is. The problem is that this is the right on the cusp of something much better. A 9060 XT built for not a lot more money is destroyed the performance-wise. I don't know if this is priced right where it is because of the inflation, right? You got to remember, Moose, that the only reason that the prices are going up is because of these data centers, because the companies, NVIDIA, are all making the chips and stuff just for that. They don't want to make consumer stuff anymore. So this is false inflation because of the data centers. Ron says, I don't think the crisis will end. Clip says, yeah, people thought the GPUS would go back now. Yeah, no, it's not. Gaming is officially a luxury hobby now. Asher says, if you already have a PC, upgrade it rather than buying a Steam Machine. If you want the game in your living room, just stream through NVIDIA Shield from your rig. Yeah, or you can pick it up and just take the HDMI and move it over if people really want a game inside their living room. Alter says, second attempt from Valve to make a PC, and the second time it fails. Oh, well. You know what they say. Third time's the charm. Yeah, right? Aku says, Moose, I did build last night its 30s game stream for about 1540, and it would blow the Steam Machine out of the water in performance with the 7600 X3D and 7700 XT. What's going on, Roic? Good morning. Roic says, I'll stick with my PC and just upgrade it. Yeah, that's exactly what this did, right? I was on the cusp before because we were saving up to buy a PC. I was like, oh, the Steam Machine. They announced the Steam Machine shortly after, and I was like, oh, I'll see what this is. As soon as they announced the prices, I was like, well, looks like we're going back to either buying a brand new PC or upgrading the PC I already have. And I understand that stuff's going up. I don't need new RAM for my PC, right? I just need a new motherboard. And I don't think I need a new power supply. I didn't check last night, but I'm pretty sure the power supply is a 180, if I'm not mistaken. Ron says we're being pushed to cloud gaming. I know. I've been saying this. I'm 2 years in. I got 5 more years to go. I said 6 to 7 years, so I got technically 4 to 5 years. I said it would be the majority of where it's going. Sarge says, how can they charge you for cloud gaming if the price comes down? What's going on, Roadkill? Listen to Roadkill. Roadkill says, smash that like button. Roadkill says, every PC is already a Steam machine. That's why I doubt they're going to sell any of them fucking things. I think they will sell, Roadkill. I don't know how many they made. It is going to sell to the streamers to tell you, oh, look, I got one, right? Remember what happened when Google came out with the Stadia? People bought the Stadia. Why? I have no idea. But they did. Titan says, Sony and Microsoft have better supply chains, correct me, than Steam. So it'll be better priced. Well, correction. Sony has better supply chains. Microsoft was late to the ballpark, hence why their machine is going to cost 5 times more, at least from their own mouth. Asha said, right, 5 times more. Sarge sent the 200 joules. Thank you very much. 200 joules. And Travis with the 10 joules. Appreciate you for the 10 joules. I don't see them pop up. I just see the thing in the chat. So thank you very much for that. Roadkill says, everybody mail 30 your motherboards. No, do not send. Do not send. Krebsy says, anyone saying that they can build a Steam machine equivalent for cheaper is flat out lying. There's a company who's buying parts in bulk, meaning lower prices for parts. Krebsy also says, oddly coming from the same people who said they could also build something stronger than the PlayStation 5 Pro launch price at $700, yet no one has made a YouTube video doing so, and would also get loads of views. Ray says you better off upgrading your local network with the NAS and also Wi-Fi 7 and stream your own PC. Big Mo says, what the fuck is the Steam machine? Yeah. It's a half an Xbox is what it is, Mo. You could buy a gaming laptop that's better than that thing. The problem is that scalpers are going to pick up the Steam. Is going to be look, it's sold out. Well, even if scalpers did, you can only, I think, pick up one per thing, right? It says select model below. Eligible customers can sign up to 4 models, right? 4 models. And then it goes down to, it says, join the list at the time before 25th at 10 a.m. On that date, we'll list to close the randomizer, and you'll receive an email with the results shortly after. So they're going to get an abundance of people, but then they're going to get a randomizer. So I don't know if the scalpers, are people going to buy it and then scalp it? Sure. I don't think they're going to have an abundance of scalpers, though. Just Enough says if things return to normal, the price drops. But what is normal? What's normal anymore? Right? Data centers are data centers. And if, again, one doesn't have to do with the other, but think about this, right? If Microsoft's making $1 billion with their data centers, okay, they're just going to keep eating up to make more data centers. If more people are making AI content, they're going to need more data centers. If even the studios, Hollywood's moving towards AI, right? More people are going to use AI to make their own creations, meaning they're going to need more data centers. I don't think this is ever going to back down. There'll be a new normal. Mr. Z says, Sony always had the more expensive TVs for years, premium gear. Now that they know that they have a ceiling of the number of consoles, why not raise the prices? It's true, Z. Jesse Max says, Sony will not release the PlayStation 6 until after the hardware crisis and the data centuries. But in reality, responds they can also even wait for PlayStation 6, push it into the next release of the gen console. Then, I just saw an article yesterday that said that they're not delaying, or a tweet that they're not delaying to 2028 or to 2029 or 2030. So supposedly they're coming out in 2028. Ray says the big question is, are there more GPUs in data centers than hands on Earth? Just Enough says, run Steam big picture mode for easy UI than gaming on a TV. Titan says, sorry, you couldn't get the Steam box, damn value and the hardware prices. It's all right. I don't care, Titan. I'm not hell bent on getting something. We'll look at this and just be like, all right, well, now we look at what can I upgrade on my computer, right? Obviously, the RAM and stuff is high. I don't need that. I have a 3060. I don't really need a new graphics card. I'm a gamer that doesn't need, I don't need the highest, latest, greatest thing. You know what I mean? So I'm good. I can even wait. I don't even really need to upgrade my stuff. I'm doing just fine. You know what I mean? Like my computer, my gaming, I'm content. I don't really need anything. I'm a practical person. If my computer blows up, then I need something. If my computer doesn't blow up, then I'm fine. Sarge says, luxury hobby won't sustain the AAA industry. They will slowly bleed to death. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be closing. A lot of people are going to be closing because people don't look at it this way. But if less people are buying consoles, which will happen, if the console prices stay high like this, okay, the reason back in the past, it never went over 150, 155, right? We just passed that certainly just a couple years ago with the PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, okay? Before that, no consoles went over that price. They always around 80, 90, 110, right? No console has gone over that. Well, that's just going to go down less and less now. And with less and less consoles out there, less and less studios making video games because there's not going to be enough clientele to buy the video games. So the only way the game companies don't hurt is that they have to start going cloud. They have to start doing, cloud services, more mobile games, right? There's going to be a huge shift because they think that people are going to keep buying these systems that keep going up in price. Well, where's the cap? There is no cap. They're going to keep going until they realize that, well, this is not working anymore. They're at the saturation point. They were already at the saturation point. So when you're at the saturation point, what do? Well, you raise the prices. Because if you can't get more people to come in, then you have to charge the people that you have more. And if people come in, they're going to pay a premium price. Hence why games are going up in price. And they're going up exponentially in price. All depending on what happens with GTA. If GTA says $90, well, the industry is going to say $90 for everything. If they say $100, the industry is going to follow suit with $100 video games. Ray says, when the Steam Machine was announced, it was priced were low. I could have also bought a cheap GPU. Thanks, Valve. Now I have nothing. Travis says, all this has convinced me to do is stick with what I have. Be happy, and trick called living in the moment. Yeah, I'm not upset or anything. I'm just like, all right, well, that's their loss, not mine. Roadkill says, well, hopefully they do good comparisons because it's weaker than the PlayStation 5 and it's insane to be $1,000. Let's see. Saint says, starter homes in the U.S., most states reaching 1 million, according to a news in the AM. Jesus. Who can afford that? Who fucking afford that? Asher says, how can you send jewels? Apparently there's if you're on mobile, I think it's a mobile thing. There's a little package thing at the bottom, Asher. What? Do we send 30's motherboard to 30NSG? Right on it? Krabsy says, you can also build a Steam Machine equivalent for cheaper. I don't believe you. You are not a company getting parts in bulk. It'd also be with cheaper reviewers. Yeah, but you could go to other sites, Krebsy, and you could pick parts. You could build your own stuff. Right? Again, my system right now, I already own. I don't have to pay $1,000. I could just upgrade the stuff I have and be equivalent. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, my system already is better than this. But now that I have $600 or $700 or $1,000 that I don't want to put towards this because this is worse off than what I have, I'd rather take the $1,000 and put it into the thing to make it better. I don't give a shit if I can make it better than Steam Machine. I'm just going to upgrade my computer to make it better for me. Let's see. Eric Rodriguez says, one of the Portal less powerful. The other is a GameCube for you. TV more expensive. Says, return to normal never happens. This is why people fight against the price increase so hard. Exactly, Saint. And then when other people don't want to fight against it, they call you a broke boy. right? But they don't see the bigger picture. They just live in the moment. They're like, well, I'm going to buy what I want to buy. And you're like, all right, well, go ahead. And it just keeps ruining it. Arga says, now that they released it at the price, I'm not sure they can really can lower the price, even if the market stabilizes more, other than temporary sales, most likely. Right? It's not going to change.
The Steam Machine is not new hardware. Thus I can make something equivalent for cheaper. It's not that hard for those of us who are used to doing it.
Thank you very much for the $5. Jason says, selling like hotcakes. That's right, it's going to sell like hotcakes. Sarge says, gamers will adapt. Nobody is sitting around without nothing to play. Remember, let's talk about who's this for, okay? If you're a person that's a gamer right now, calling yourself a gamer, you own something, right? So you're either playing games on a mobile device, which is either a Steam Deck, a Nintendo Switch, a mobile phone, what's the Xbox? The Legion Go or whatever, right? The ROG Ally, right? This is it. You own something already. So now you're either a PlayStation guy, you're an Xbox guy, maybe you have all of them, and now the Steam Machine comes in. So maybe you don't own a PC. Maybe you own a PlayStation, maybe you own an Xbox, maybe you own a Nintendo, and you're like, you know what? I don't own a PC, and this is their PC entry. For $1,300, you're paying old school prices, right? For a computer that came out, it's not very powerful for what it is. Who's this for? That's my point with this, right? If you're a person that just likes to collect stuff and have the new technology, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about someone that's coming into the field. Either you have a PC already and you don't need one of these, right? Or you're looking to get into PC and then this is what you're looking at. But if you're looking to get into PC, now you're talking about specifically, you're looking to get into PC, but you want to play in your living room. Who's that for? Who says the era of inflation that is actually just corporations jacking up the prices is exhausting. I mean, this has no correlation to the video games, but just in spaces and when you go to Target or Walmart or go to other places, they have same with the apps when you look up stuff on your phone. People that have iPhones get charged more, right? People that go to Walmart, there's a whole big scandal going on right now with Walmart. They have the electronic price tags that they can change, and they know when you scan with your phone what area code you live in, what your spending habits are. So if both me and you go into a store, Moose, they might charge you more or might charge me more based on the way my salary is. Right? That's crazy. They're doing regional pricing. They're doing individual pricing. It's no longer just a price that says $1.19 on the thing anymore. It could be $1.75 for you, and it could be $1 for me. Right? It's getting out of hand. Kyle says just the gaming consoles, though. It's a PC. It could do way more than a PlayStation 5. Price is still insane, and you're better off building your own PC. Correct. It is a PC. This is not a console. This is a PC, full-fledged PC. But at the same price point, you can get a lot more bang for your buck for just a couple. Instead of buying a $1,400 computer or a Steam Machine, you're paying for the storage. You can get deals right now for the same price. Right? You can get a build one. You can build your own or pre-built one. You can pay $1,300, $1,400. It's way more powerful from what you're getting here. Arga says not enough used parts out there for everyone. Yeah, but I don't care about everyone. You know what I mean? Michael says, I heard that GTA 6 price is $1,049. I could have gotten my sources wrong. Yeah, you might take off just the 9. It might be 104. Yeah, it could be 104. Mo says these prices are atrocious and shouldn't be defended at all. No, the reason is because of the data centers. You can buy pre-built for the same price, and it will work now. And the best thing value doing it opening Steam OS to a lot of AMD PCs, so you can also make your own and use Steam OS if you desire. Basically, you can do also a mini ATX AMD build, install Steam OS, and have your own PC on your living room, since the mini ATX is easier to place near the TV. Appreciate the subscription. Argus says, I don't think you're seeing anything that even touches the PC adjacent costing less than $1,000 going forward. Not even with whatever do with consoles. That's my biggest concern. My concern is not that the Steam machine is $1,000. My concern is going forward, the next Xbox, the next PlayStation is going to be $1,000. That's my concern, Argus. Obviously, the Steam machine is not for people who have PCs and willing to put in the next to your living room from PC. Yeah, but who's it for? Who is this for? Right? If you're a person, let's just say a streamer. Streamer already has a PC, right? So content creators, I would say 99.9% of them already have a PC. So they have a Steam library, and they're not going to sit in their living room to play their video games when they're streaming. They play on their PC when they stream, right? So it's a very niche to spend $1,000 on this to play it when you're off stream, even though most of the streamers stream 8, 12 hours a day type of thing. They probably don't have that much time, right? So that's not the normal person, right? If the person wants to buy this and they already have a PlayStation and an Xbox, well, they already have the third-party games on their PlayStation or their Xbox. So they're probably not going to buy those games again for their Steam machine. So they're only going to get, independent games for this to play on their television set? It's a very weird spot that this is in. Roadkill says, if it's made for streamers and YouTube and that's about it, just for you so you can do reviews or try to sell it for FOMO people. That's what I'm thinking, Roadkill. Like, who is this for? An average day person? If you're a person, go buy a used secondhand system, PlayStation or an Xbox, if you're looking to get to the system. Oh, that's another problem, Roadkill. Whether the packaging says something and it's not really that much. Saint says, even if the PlayStation 6 is $800, I can't afford that. Pelican says, it's released 1 to 2 years ago for this price. It would have been okay. The laptops with the GPU were $1,400 to $1,600. But laptops and stuff like that always get a little bit higher because it's portable, right? This is not a portable device. August says, the next console is $1,000. Better impress me. I don't want to hear shit about the console. Not really better for this increased price or just marketing conditions and make it hard for them. That's not my problem. They better figure it out or get out of business. And I think that's what's going to happen. A lot less. Look, let's go to we love going to here. Best selling. I really should just bookmark this, right? We look at this chart, right? We always come back to this chart in some way, shape, or form. Okay, when you look at this chart, look at the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2 from 2000. We're talking 26 years. It's finally at 160 million units. Okay. Nintendo Switch, which came out in 2017, is just 5 behind the PlayStation 2, and that's because it's Nintendo. Nintendo's been training you since you were born. We always joke about it, saying birth to death. You get a Nintendo when you're born, they hand you a Nintendo. When you die, they take it away from you, and then they just give it to your next of kin. All right, and it just Nintendo's constantly in your life. Right? You look at this. PlayStation 4, 117 million, 2013. PlayStation,
which I am now very justified to have invested in a great gaming PC. Also in Series 10 and PlayStation 5 a while ago.
Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it, Z. Yeah. Right? Right now, if you're going to invest in something, take your money and invest it into a PC. Regardless of the prices being higher or whatnot, invest in the PC. You'll get more out of it. Way more out of it. Right? You look at this, right? The PlayStation 4, 117 million units. PlayStation, 102. Right? The Wii, 101. PlayStation 5, 93.7. that number for PlayStation 5 is going to slow down dramatically. I know it looks impressive, but it'll probably, maybe, I think it'll maybe get to the PlayStation 4. If it does, it'll beat just the PlayStation 4 a little bit, right? PlayStation 3, 87. Right? Xbox 360, 84. Right? These numbers are going to dramatically drop because less and less people, there's more people playing video games, but less people buying consoles. Make it make sense, right? So they have to start charging more money. Bill says it's pretty interesting that Valve and their own complete design, yet they charged as if it was doing a DIY built where everyone parts and margins make up one pay for sale tax. A complete system like SteamMachine is made to cost-cutting exercise as a company does not need to buy from other partners. The problem is they already paid for the RAM and stuff inside this thing, right? So let's say the crisis is over now, right? The crisis is over. Do we think that this price is going to go back down? It's not going to go back down because 4 years from now, were they going to drop this down to 750? 600? I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Especially since PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox have all raised their prices. And if more people start buying those consoles, they're going to be like, see, people are buying the more expensive consoles. We don't need to lower our price. What's going on, Mr. Luke? Clip says, yeah, my PC has helped me make a lot of money over the years. It's usually how I upgrade because my PC helps me make money. Right? Preach. Right? Let's see. Krebsy says the lack of critical thinking and flat out lying is astonishing.
I am now justify. I invested in a great gaming PC, also and Series X and PlayStation 5 a while ago.
Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Z, did you write the exact same thing twice just to do another voice? Just the exact same thing. I mean, I appreciate the $5, but you didn't even change it up. You just did the exact same thing with a different voice. I like the boom at the end. Boom. Yep, it'll be the new norm, just like we are used to 1,000 GPUs. Yeah, it's crazy. You can literally find a better machine for the price they're charging. 100%, Shadow. 100%. Don't be scared to admit PlayStation rules. I have no problem establishing PlayStation rules. What do you want me to bring up back the thing? Congratulations, your best PlayStation is PlayStation 2. I own that. I'm part of the PlayStation. You make it roadkill. You always make it about this. I know you're just laughing, right? Just sit back because you like the type of stuff, right? And I go back and forth with you, right? I don't hate PlayStation. I'm not an Xbox guy. I'm a fucking gamer, right? I've owned every PlayStation ever made except the PlayStation 5. Why? Because it wasn't in stock when I wanted to purchase it. And because it wasn't in stock, I bought an Xbox. That's it. That was the only reason. And there's no reason for me to buy a PlayStation because there's no games that I can't get on here that I want to play. Zero. Shadow says not paying $1,000 for any console. That's right. It's fucking crazy. We get Super Chat remastered before GTA 6. I'm guys the only problem I have. Which? Pill says the PlayStation 2 was the OP console. Current consoles are just glimpsed PCs, and they also have issues with me. The console need to have specific WH for gaming. I love the PlayStation 2 was great. The PlayStation 2 to me is what the Xbox 360 was for Microsoft. PlayStation 2 is the best console for PlayStation, in my opinion. I hated the 3. 4's okay. PlayStation 2 was the GOAT for PlayStation. Xbox 360 was like the GOAT for Microsoft. If PlayStation 2 wasn't a DVD player, it would have sold less. Well, a lot of the people, you got to remember, PlayStation 2 went as low as like $99, right? It was like, I think it was $199, right? Was it $199 when it came out originally? And went all the way down to like $99? Like years later, it was like 6 years, 7 years later. Michael says the new console war will be buying old consoles with hard drives filled with old libraries. Right? Shadow says not really a fan of any of the companies right now. I'm never, if you guys notice, if you guys notice, come on, Melrose, I never wear any kind of brands or anything on my shirts, right? Very rarely will you see me have something on my shirt, right? Most of the stuff I wear is not from Nike or they're unmarked, right? Not because I'm on stream and everything. I am not a brand guy. I don't like certain things. I don't buy products because of a brand on it. I buy products because it's a good product, right? I look at stuff and go, oh, it's a good product. Perfect example, right? I could have bought a backbone again for my new phone, right? Because I got a new phone a couple weeks ago. It has the C port in it, right? And I couldn't use my backbone anymore. So Altern helped me out, and he sent me a bunch of stuff, right? So I looked at it, and I got a Game Sir, right? I just got this. Just came in the mail this morning. Okay, I got a Game Sir. I could have got a backbone. Backbone cost $99. This costs $35. And this actually works better. I actually like the feel of this better. The controls feel better. Okay, I played a bunch of games this morning on my phone just to test it out. Right? I am not a brand guy. I am not a person, and everyone that comes in always tries to, Roadkill's having fun and stuff like that, right? I am not a PlayStation fan. I'm not an Xbox fan. I'm a gamer, okay? I don't care what PC brand I have. I don't care what shoes I wear. I buy what's comfortable, what I like. That's what I buy. Right? It was funny. When I got married, right, back in 2010, we asked for certain things, okay? And I put, for a wedding gift, I put the cheapest Blu-ray player, okay, on the thing. No one...
I'm the old teacher from your nightmares.
Thank you much for the $2, Mr. T. You're having fun with the different voice accents. I like it. It's good, right? So when we got married, we asked for like simple things. We're practical people, right? I don't need the latest, greatest, most expensive thing. I just need, right? I just need the thing I need. A spatula, right? I just need a spatula. I don't need a $400 spatula. I just need a $1 spatula so I can flip my pancakes. You know what I mean? Like, I am not a person that's a brand. Well, you gotta get this brand. You gotta get this brand. Let's go on, Backer. Michael says $2.99, then $99. Was it $2.99? I guess it was $2.99 back then. Maybe I bought it when it was $1.99. I think that's when I bought it. Mr. Luke says, I had both PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360, both out so long and best games in gaming history. Yes, 360 has some of the greatest games ever created. Plus, I'm pretty sure upcoming consoles will just be every device you have at home as a client device or cloud gaming. Pill, I know you're new in my channel. I've been saying for years, and people laugh at me, right? Because I said that cloud gaming, this was 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, right? I said that cloud gaming will be the majority of gaming in 6 to 7 years. Now, people laughed at me back then. Okay, people laughed at me back then, and I get it. Okay, but at the same time,
what were you talking about? I need it all.
Thank you very much for the $2. Right? Appreciate the $2. So I've said that cloud gaming will be the majority. Now, everyone thinks the majority is going to be like 70%. No. It only needs to be like 33%. It only needs to be like 33%. And it takes the majority of what gaming is. And that's where people are going to go. Not that they want to, because they have
Buying
to.
a good PC can be a larger initial investment. However, long-term you will save money on upgrades, games, peripherals and more.
Well, you save money. Thank you very much for the $5. Not only do you save money in the long run, right? Because a lot of console guys don't look at it this way, right? You're also paying for online. And the 5 years that you're paying for online, in the long run, in the short term, you're paying up front for PCs, right? So PC, let's say it costs you $1,400 or whatever, right? But you're not paying for online. But console, you're paying online, and you're paying more money on majority of the games. A lot of the games go on more discount and stuff like that. Now, I do know PlayStation and Xbox do have discounts all the time, and they have sales and stuff like that. But for the most part, also your games on PC, you can mod, you can put stuff in there, right? You can, what's it called? More bundles. They'll sell like 10 games, right? You could have got all the Warhammer series, okay, on PC for like $10. Can't do that on a console. They won't do it. Rogan says, I don't think consoles are so much better. I don't want to work and play in the same area. You get my drift? I know exactly what you mean. I have my computer here and I have my television here. There's times that I don't want to be in my office sitting in my chair. I want to be playing games on the couch. Totally get it. Totally get it. This is why we don't have a TV where we eat. Because then people just start watching television instead of chatting at the table. You know what I mean? Roadkill says, don't play where you work, or all your UPC players also playing where you work. That's a bad habit. Pill says, I don't think one needs to buy an OP PC as an investment. I think it's smarter to buy a mid-range PC and upgrade the mid-range every 3 years instead. That's what I've done. That's what I did. Obviously, there's content creators and streamers out there that's their lifeblood, right? So they spend $4,000 on their PC, or they're gifted a $4,000 PC, and they have two of them, and they're doing streaming PCs and stuff like that. That's what they do for a living, right? That's like an athlete, buying good cleats and good gear and stuff like that, because they're investing in their career. Shadow says, I mean, you're right. 10 years ago, with the Xbox One, people rejected digital. Now they don't care about people being conditioned into accepting it. Everything that Don Matrick said about the Xbox back in the Xbox One era is happening right now for everybody. What's going on first? Good morning. Dupla says, 30. Next Xbox and the PlayStation 6 aren't even going to include controllers at this point, and no one will say a peep. Fuck it. Just go full Apple and not include a power cord. Now, you'll get what you'll get, Dupless, is you'll get a solar-powered panel that you put on, and you have to put it next to a light in your house so the light can shine on the box can get powered up. That's what's going to happen. For cheaper. It's going to be fucking insane. All right, let's move over to the next topic here, which is AI will enhance the PlayStation experience, the bold claim. And Xbox would be roasted for saying the same thing. Just off this title alone, I laughed because I was like, that is true. That is true. If Xbox said they're using AI, they'd be like, they're terrible. They need to close down. And PlayStation do that, they're like, let's let them cook. Let them cook. All right. So if you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So AI will enhance the PlayStation experience is a bold claim, and Xbox would be roasted for saying the same. So Sony says AI will enhance PlayStation, but would it be the reaction be the same if Xbox made identical claims? I don't think so. Before we begin, I think it's only fair to say that the heavily invested Xbox ecosystem is my platform of choice, but I've also almost always owned a PlayStation or a Nintendo console along it. At least that was the case until the generation where I still haven't picked up a PlayStation 5 or a Nintendo Switch 2. I didn't write this, guys. I did not write this. This is not me, okay? This is not my surname or anything. This is Adam Hales, okay? I did not write this, Okay. Being an Xbox fan, though, it often feels like living through a consistent cycle of highs and lows. One week, it's good news, and the next week, it's bad news. Rumors, questionable decisions, smart decisions, panic, excitement, and endless debate. Quite frankly, it can be exhausting. This is why I'm not a fan of anything. Just a gamer. Okay. When Asha Sharma arrived to help to revive Xbox, reaction online felt pretty clear. The usual suspects, even some Xbox fans themselves, were concerned about her background in AI. Many immediately jumped to the conclusions that claiming it was beginning at the end of the Xbox, and that the platform was being sunsetted, or that Microsoft was about to replace the game development with AI. In reality, Sharma has been fairly consistent in how she talks about AI. Her position has largely been that the AI is a tool, not something that has also replaced games or the people making them, but something that can be assist in the development process. In fact, she even ended Copilot for console within her first 100 days as CEO, showing where she stands on AI quite firmly. Well, don't always believe what you see. Okay, that's all I'll say about the Copilot. Another thing is that yes, she was in AI in her position, but she was shocked that the prices were going up in AI. She just came from AI sector. They already put the bids in for the AI chips and whatnot, or I should say the chips for AI, months and months before. She knew that the prices were going up, but she didn't care back then because she was in the AI sector. But then she came over to the console market and she's like, well, we didn't order chips then for them. We ordered chips for Microsoft and the data centers. So now, since we didn't buy the chips, it's going to cost us 2, 4, 5 times more. That's what she really should say. All right, this is why Sony recent strategy update caught my attention. Okay, it says, in the latest report of Sony removed references to bringing first-party games to PC as part of a broader strategy discussion and instead placed significant emphasis on AI, positioning it as a key part of PlayStation's future. Yet the reaction online feels noticeably different. If anything, I've seen more people defend it and than criticize it. This is not to say that Sony hasn't received criticism, because it has, but the conversation feels far more measured than the reaction of Xbox often receives whenever AI enters the discussion. Within the strategy update, Sony states, quote, as AI lowers barriers to creation to increase the volume of diversity and content within the studio business, the AI-powered tools and automating repetitive workflows, improving productivity across the platform business. AI is driving efficiency, personalization, and customer value at scale. Overall, AI is expected to unleash the creativity of Sony Interactive Studios. Okay, so there you go. That's what it was written in the thing. Sony clearly believes that AI will enhance the PlayStation experience in reading those statements. It's hard not to wonder what the reactions would have also been if they also come from Xbox instead. I generally struggle to imagine a world where Xbox could publish those exact same comments without triggering a complete online meltdown, accompanied by endless declaration that Xbox is abandoning hardware and developing, heading for disaster. I mean, they're already saying stuff like that again. So now I will admit that I'm being a little facetious, okay, here, but I do think that there's at least some truth to it. If it had to been an Xbox-led announcement, I suspect the discourse would have been far louder. Well, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it would be louder and why everyone thinks there is an Xbox tax. Let's go back to best-selling consoles of all time. Okay. There is, for PlayStation 5, 93.7 million people that own a PlayStation 5 right now. Okay. Xbox, there is 28.3 million. Now, we do know there's 20 million people using Game Pass. We know there's another 120 million users using Windows. Okay. We know there's 1 billion people using PCs. But the reason that we feel, and there is a more talkative point than the other, because there's more people that are on PlayStation than Xbox. So when something goes wrong with Xbox, there's more people by percentage-wise that on Twitter that own a PlayStation that like to just chime in. Yeah, you ever been in high school and 2 people are fighting or 2 people are in an argument and one person just goes, ooh, oh, right? There's 100 people surrounding the thing, but there's only one person going ooh and ah to build up the energy level, right? Or they'll come in and they'll punch somebody real fast, and then it starts the brawl. That's what's happening on social media. The reason you see more stuff about Xbox dying and thing like this is because there's more people talking about it, because there's more people shitting on it and stirring the pot. Right? That's why you see it. Roadkill says it's because the Sony knows how to use AI and build great games. Xbox, you don't know that. See, that statement right there is full of shit. You don't know that they know what they know. You just say that because you bleed blue. That's it. Right? 100% bullshit. Right? That's it. This is it. Roadkill is the guy that goes, ooh, and shoves the person into somebody else. Right? Just to see what happens. Right? 100 million PlayStation 5s out there? There's still not 100 million. We literally, are you blind? Are you blind? Come on now. There's not 100 million yet. There's 93.7 million. 93.75 million. Here, I'll make it bigger for you so you can see. All right, there it is. 93. I'll highlight it for you too. Okay. All right. See, I don't care that there's 28 million because I'm not an Xbox guy. I don't give a shit. Okay. What I care about is that the reason behind why people think that Xbox gets picked on is because there's more people on the competitor thing. There's more people that can go on into chats, into social media, and just say something stupid. Then there's people that just want to see the world burn, and they just say something just to get people riled up, right? That's it. Look at what Epic just did. They just announced that you can make video games with AI. What's happening in the movie space right now? In the movie space right now, there's people that are making better stories, okay, better stories than what's in Hollywood right now on YouTube with AI, right? Everyone said there's never going to be a movie that's fully AI. You can't teach AI to have feelings and stuff like that. You can't have originality, but yet here we are, people making original content with AI, okay? They're making unoriginal content, but stories are better than the stories that are being told in Hollywood. Okay, there's going to be full-length feature films by the end of the year, right? Disney is using AI to make movies. They've already said this, right? Yet here we are in the video game space, and people are like, oh, well, Xbox does it, it's bad. PlayStation does it, it's good, right? They're going to be making video games, Unreal Engine. You can make video games. One person can type into ChatGPT, I would like to make a racing game with this and this, and then it puts it together, and then you make a game by yourself, and then you can start tweaking it. Much faster than 1,000 people making a video game, right? We're in a very, very Wild West state right now with AI. Very Wild West. Michael says, I liked the world better when PlayStation and Xbox were about the same amount sold, and Nintendo had the remote as its controller. Saint says, I like smoking it Friday. You got knocked out, the fucked out. Dupla says, most PlayStation 5s are still sitting in the scalper's garage trying to scalp it. Argus says, it's 100 million consoles, not people. Many people have multiple in their home. Well, it's not 100 million yet. Jesse says, there is also a Sony downfall. You don't need AI for everything. And if AI has a change to enhance the experience for PlayStation at all, the CPU and GPU are designed to work with that, or work that way. Pill says the animation design says a character with AI can be a time saving. But also the only thing it would also tolerate AI being used for no generative designs of characters, environment, and assets as such. Here's the thing that's going to happen, Pill. Something's going to come out that is AI that people are not going to know it's AI. They're going to like it first, right? If it's television, if it's whatever it is, right? And people are going to like it. And when people like it, they won't care, right? They won't care that it's AI or not, right? Just like everything else. If it's something that's entertaining and good, people will be like, oh, that's cool. No one's going to be like, I really like that. Oh, it's AI? Oh, I hate that. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, I get it, right? But that could go with anything. AI is going to make it so hard that you're not going to be able to distinguish what's real or not. We're already there for some, Okay. But just talk about movies and video games. Someone's going to make a video game that's all AI. You're going to play it. You're going to have fun. You're going to be like, oh, this is amazing. Right? Like right now, let's just say, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but let's say Vampire Survivor is made by AI, but nobody knew. Right? You don't know. Right? They made a game. You bought the game. You played the game. You loved it. You have hundreds of hours in the game. And then all of a sudden they go, hey, did you know that Vampire Survivor, it's not, by the way, is made by AI? And you would have been like, oh, I fucking hate it. I mean, I guess you could do that. But at the end of the day, if you like something, you're going to play it, watch it, listen to it because you like it. Sarge, thank you very much for the 200 joules. Appreciate you. Shadow says, I don't want AI used in much of anything personally. The question is, though, right? Back in the day, it was hand-drawn cartoons. Hand-drawn cartoons. Then it became computer-animated cartoons. Did you hate them worse? No, you liked it. Sure, art is subjective. And art is about people doing something. Right? If a person does something, right? If a person's making music, he's a producer and mixes a bunch of other beats together, he made that. Right? If a director takes digital AI, real actors and stuff, he directed, did something, made something, put it there, he directed it. Right? Dupla says Microsoft closes studios and lays off employees. Bad. Sony closes studios and lays off employees. Good. Arga says I can't be a conservative / Republican and be a PlayStation fanboy. Those two things can't coexist. Shadow says AI is used, but stop using it as a fix or everything or for everything. But who's to say they're fixing it? In this particular situation, I think you're talking about video games, and they're bringing it in because budgets are exploding. So how do they get that down? Right? They would have to use AI, but that's the only alternative. Alternate says, what's the best example of AI that can be used in the industry? My profile picture is semi-AI. I drew it myself by hand, but I asked AI to make it real life. That's how they use it in the industry. Yeah. I wrote a song, right? I wrote a song. I put it into the program. The song writes the music. And then I go back and they're like, well, I don't like that part. Put trumpets in there instead. Oh, and it re-renders it and puts it back in. Oh, put a vocal there, right? That's what I'm doing. Alternate says they will do concept as ask AI to make it in their art style. That'll speed up the process without replacing the people. And it'll still replace people. The only AI I want is the AI Todd Howard. He could be 7 times better than the real Todd Howard and 2 feet taller. 16 times the detail. Roic says, I could care less. I don't care how the sausage is made. If it's good, it's good. And that's how most people are, Roic. Most people don't care how it's made. Most people, when they watch a movie, they think it's real. Hell, some people watch a TV show or a movie and they think that the person in a relationship is the actual people in a relationship. So when they see them in real life, they think they're real people, right? I'm gonna put a pause there because my son wants some breakfast, so I'm gonna get some breakfast for him. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. You guys can listen to one of my AI songs, okay? And I'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Wrapped in neon light, everyone on friends said it changed their life. Started up the game and watched it play. Guess I'm just along for the ride again today. Walk real slow through another empty hall. Character keeps talking while I do nothing at all. Hold the stick forward, that's the big design. 10 out of 10 every single time. And I miss those nights, failing 20 times. Now everything survives itself without me trying. Gaming lost its soul somewhere, buried underneath perfect scores and scripted air. I press one button, the game does the rest. Still they call it one of the best. Another 10 out of 10. Guess gameplay's dead again. Used to learn patterns, used to earn the win. Now the checkpoints save me every 10 seconds in. Can't even fail if I wanted to try. Just stare at the screen while the hours die. Journalists crying over every scene, calling boredom cinematic in every magazine. Maybe I'm broken, maybe they're right. Maybe games and movies now pretending they can fight. And I miss those nights, controllers in my hands. Not just watching stories I barely understand. Gaming lost its soul somewhere under all the polish and the fake deep stares. I press one button, the game does the rest. Still they call it one of the best. Another hollow win. Another perfect 10. Remember when games push back? Remember losing? Remember getting stuck on a boss for weeks and finally beating it? Now everything's smooth, safe, comfortable.
All right. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Shaz says, I actually hate computer animated movies because it's basically killed the hand-drawn animation. I mean, very true, but it's still there. I mean, it's what it is. Hand-drawn animations was there for 40, 50 years. And then Toy Story came in, computer animation, and then completely changed the landscape, right? 30, how many movies did Disney make with AI already flop and not even that good in the first place? They didn't make any movies with AI yet. Like zero that we know of. Bill says, games are so expensive because there are too many people doing nothing but being parasites during the development of the... yeah. So the problem is that when you have a budget of $250, $300 million, $400 million, $500 million, right? And then the game comes out and it sells 2 million copies. That's a no-no, right? Someone has to lose their job, or many people have to lose their job. Like think about it on a small scale. Whatever you guys do in your life, right? Your job. If I work at a gas station, okay, and I'm a cashier, but I refuse to do my work as a cashier, or I'm taking my sweet ass time, guess what? They're going to replace me with someone that can do it faster. That's how it works. If I make donuts, but don't make the donuts good and they don't sell, well, then I lose my job, right? Like anything. I don't care if you're digging a ditch or if you're a lawyer. If you suck at your job and they don't make money off of you because each person costs them money, then I'm sorry, you lose. That's how it works. Argus says, too many redundant employees at these companies, bloating up the costs for no reason. No way it takes that many people to make a good game. It all depends what the game is, right? It all depends what the game is. But you can make a game with 14 people. You can make it with one person. You can make it with 1,000 people. But I'm pretty sure people with 1,000 people are not making as much money as the people with 10 people. Bill says, I wonder if GTA 6 will bring into the table after all the money is cost for the development. Will the NPCs live real lives and can interpret it and so on? Yeah, they're going to take all the billions of dollars. What do you think they're going to do? That's a good question, right? Grand Theft Auto makes the 46 million copies sold, right, in the first year as people are projecting, right? What do they do with all that money? How many games do you think that 2K is going to be making with that money? That's right, Mr. Z. That's right. In my retro video game business, not only do I do the cashier, but I get all the other stuff, and I make the cotton candy, and put the... it's amazing. Yep. And yet I employ someone for $41 a day, and she sleeps on the job. Yep. It's because slim pickings. Slim pickings. Altern says it's likely AI will just be used to reduce the labor and will remove jobs, but it might help to create new ones. Also, new problem comes, and now it's oversaturated of the market. So there was, in the film industry, we used to use film, right? And now they went digital. And when we went to digital, it actually made a job. Okay. It actually adapted a job, I should say, because the person that would actually come and take the film and then the loader, right, and unload the film and take the film used to take a process, right? It used to be this big, long process. Well, not really long, but you would have to take the can off the camera. You would have to bring it back to the tent, put it in the tent, zip up the tent. You have to put your hands in the tent, right? Then you would have to remove the thing and blindly, because you can't see, because you can't have light expose it, right? So you would do all the stuff and put it in a container, put the container, right? Fill in another one, put a brand new reel in, and then give it back to the person. Now, with digital, because digital made it easier, now I don't have to put my hand in the tent anymore, right? The same person just walks up to the camera and says, here, we're dumping the card. You take the card, you bring it back, and you put it in the machine, and you put it in the machine, and it digitally downloads all the stuff, right? Technology did advance and make the job easier, right? Because now I can just pop it in, but then other problems start accruing, because then you get corrupt files, there's different things, why isn't it working, right? There's other things, where before it was just the film in the container, right? And the reason I'm speaking about film, guys, if you're watching, is I worked in the film industry for 20 years. So, right, the worst thing that could happen is you let go of the film and it goes and it fills up the tent. Those are the worst. I've had that happen to me twice. Once my fault, the other one wasn't my fault. Jesse Max says GTA 6 will be AI in general. Let's say that it's found out that GTA 6 comes out, sells 46 million copies in the year. Best-selling game of all time. Down the road, someone finds out they used AI. What then? Do people go in an uproar? Or do they go, I don't care, it was really good. It's really good. I can't believe it. I didn't even notice. August says there is no publicly traded company that isn't looking to using AI to remove the human position. They have paid less employees, especially true for software companies. Those people are fucked. All right, let's go. The third story that we got going on here. And a SteamMachine. All over the place, huh? Don't know how long this story is, but we'll talk about this one in a second. Krebs says, build out the next generation of Rage, a Rockstar advanced game engine. GTA 6 is Rage 9. Rage 10 will have better physics, AI integration for smarter, more immersive NPCs, etc. Yeah, but what I'm saying, Krebsy, is when's that game coming out? My whole point is, with the 46 million copies they sell and make $3 billion, it took them 13 years to make Grand Theft Auto 6. So that money that they have, the $3 billion they make, what are they doing with it? So they make Rage 10, great. So we'll see that in 2050 or 2040, sorry. Well, Bill, we always have a rule over here. We never say, I never say never, right? Because a lot of people, I know you didn't say never. What I'm saying is a lot of people will be like, oh, that's never going to happen. And then it does, right? Then it does. They're like, oh, it'll never be replaced, right? AI will never replace the human interaction. And yet, every day on the internet, people interact with bots. It's amazing. Mo says, actually, the word on the street is AI is costing more than having the people there. Right now. Yeah. So when a company builds an assembly line, Mo, right? They had guys there, people that actually build stuff, like an assembly line with humans. And then they said, you know what? We're going to get an actual machine to come in and do it. Well, obviously it costs more for the machine, and it's not going to pay over time. But as the kinks get out and they get rid of the people, and they only have a few people left to make sure that the machine's doing its job, so instead of having 100 people on the assembly line, now they have 10, right? And they go, oh, there's more problems and more things happening with this actual machine. But in the long run, they're paying tenfold, because now it's bugs are not happening. The machine's running nice and smooth. Okay. That's just the way it works. So yeah, AI is going to be more expensive right now until people understand how to actually operate with it, design with it, and then it won't cost as much. All right, next story. Marvel Rivals sequel will retain free-to-play status, but go open world. Now, I don't think this is actually talking about Marvel Rivals, but we'll see. All right. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So Marvel Rivals sequel will retain free-to-play status, but go open world. After the smashing success of Marvel Rivals, the next game will take your favorite Marvel heroes in a different direction. Since the launch back in 2024, Marvel Rivals has become highly popular and successful hero shooter. While it also was going to have a mass appeal to Marvel crowd, the true extent of the game's success has been staggering, to say the least, and there are plenty more to come. It's soon going to have a competition from its own backyard, as a new Marvel game is in the works with Scopely. Okay, Marvel Rivals' successor will be open world, inspired by rapidly growing genre. Scopely is probably the best known for Monopoly Go, so it's already skeptical, okay, about what it could bring in the Marvel multiverses. Give us a chance. So it's a mobile game. Fantastic. The game is currently titled Project Comet, and the latest reports claim it's adopted to the Marvel Rivals art style, while still maintaining its own identity. Well, I do like that it's the art style of Marvel, right? Of Marvel Rivals. Said to be a mobile RPG, it looks like inspired by gacha titles such as Genshin Impact, but with a wide variety of Marvel heroes as playable characters. Multiverse Sui on channel X channel claims that some of the current playable characters include Quicksilver, Juggernaut, Thor, Beast, and some brief gameplay footage of Juggernaut has also shown off. Most likely, gacha-style games is more likely to be free-to-play, but rely heavily on microtransactions like Marvel Rivals. Okay. That could automatically turn some gamers away, but after games like Star Wars Battlefront 2 raise questions on what acceptable forms of microtransactions are, most of what you also see nowadays is purely cosmetic. Either that or a time saver allowing you to level up quickly and rarely pay to win items sold. Now, gacha games have become increasingly popular over the years, too, with games like aforementioned Genshin Impact, Weathering Waves, amassing quite the following. Weathering Waves also has partnered up with Cyberpunk 2077 recently in collaboration that have left us in all tears. Given the popularity, it's no wonder that Marvel wants to try to take a piece of the gacha pie. The diversity of the franchise gives ample wiggle room to experiment with different genres. There's currently no word on when this mysterious Project Comet could officially unveil, nor would it be a potential release. It can't imagine it reaches the heights of Marvel Rivals as a hero shooter, likely has more appeal than the gacha game. But we'll also be lying if we said another open world Marvel game had piqued our interest, or haven't piqued our interest, especially if it's free to play. So for now, you can enjoy a current season of Marvel Rivals for the low price of nothing in a recent edition. So to go into to more of it, I guess they don't. Is there actually? Oh, media is unavailable. So they took it down. They took it down. I would think because it's a mobile game, right? Because it's a mobile game, they would want to capitalize on the highest part possible, right? And right now, Spider-Man comes out, brand new day comes out the end of July, and then Doomsday comes out in December, right? I can't imagine they're far off from this. Now that if there was gameplay that people were seeing, I can't imagine that this thing is far off. It would probably have to come out sometime around about the same time.
At Ginger Prime Gaming celebrates 28 months of membership. Boom City baby. Glad I don't need to buy a Steam machine.
So, on, Ginger Prime, thank you very much for the 28-month support. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, we were talking about it earlier, right? Like, it's crazy, the price of it. And we're all kind of wondering, who's it for? Right? Who's it for? Right? So, you would have to assume that this Marvel game here, it's got to come out before Doomsday, right? Or right after, I would assume, to build the hype. Because if it is building up hype to Doomsday, or after Doomsday comes out, if it does well, if it doesn't do well, then you release it afterwards. I don't know. Clip says it's going to be a gacha game. That means it's going to be different tiers of heroes. So fucking stupid. I love the clips that we're all kind of skewed. Right? We're tainted. We're like we know they're going to fuck it up in some way, shape, or form. Krebsy says, would it make more sense for Secret War? Maybe. But my point, Krebsy, is they have to release it around something that's coming out, right? Kind of promotion type of thing. You get hyped up after you, right? Like after I watched He-Man, I wanted to play the He-Man game they got delayed in April. I wanted to play the beat 'em up game. You know what I mean? Like you get built up like that. You watch, Lord of the Rings. You want to play a Lord of the Rings game. Right? Go back to the Shadows of Mordor or something. You know what I mean? Like, you get hyped up for it. So you would assume that if Brand New Day comes out, that people are going to go back and play Spider-Man, right? The Witcher came out on TV. More people went back and played Witcher. You would think that they would have this drop sometime around one of the films or shows. That's all I'm saying. Altern says, well, if it's a gacha, then it's already fucked. Well, remember the conversation we had a long time ago, Altern, where certain genres, right, don't jive with people. But as soon as you put a brand inside there, it changes it, right? Like I talked about in the past, Destiny. Way back in that, I said if they made a Destiny game that was Marvel, Transformers, or Star Wars, I would be more interested than Destiny, right? So I don't play gacha games. But if you give me a reason to play a gacha game, if you give me a reason where maybe something clicks with me, if it's the way they look, the gameplay mechanic, I will give it a shot. I will play it as much as I can to the point where I go, oh, yeah, no, that's very grindy. But I'll still get the enjoyment of the time playing the actual game. And maybe I wouldn't touch it at all, but then I would up until a certain point. Mr. Luke says they made Marvel Strike Force. That's a hero collector. Very true. And we also played Marvel Future Revolution. And I played the shit out of that game up until the point I was like, yeah, I maxed out all my characters. I didn't want to pay for the end game type of stuff. Ginger Prime says, dude, the price I wanted just one to see how it feels, but I don't think I could justify the price, especially since I have method to game already. I'm glad you said that, right? I'm glad you said that, Ginger, because we were talking about it earlier, right? I was like, who is this for, right? Because if you already have a PC, right, you already have the means. If this was $700, I think people would buy it. But because it's $1,000 now, you're like, I already have a PC. I don't need this, right? It's like, who is this for? They price themselves out, and I do understand that people are going to buy it. There are people that are going to buy it, especially people that are content creators and stuff like that are going to buy it and, and use it. I was going to buy one because my PC is old and I was going to use that as a PC to play games and then use my PC to stream. But for that price, I'm like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. Jesse Max says Marvel Rivals 2 open world is going great idea on how they do it, though. Open world New York, just chilling with buds and swinging around and enjoying open world New York. We also shall see then. It'd be interesting that you said the New York thing. I don't know if Marvel Rivals is going to do something like that, but they are testing something out with the Times Square stuff, right? And maybe they're seeing it and they go, oh, what about if we put this over there? It'd be interesting. Pill says 1,000 would be okay if it was more performant. I still don't think it's worth it. I buy it at 700. I have a PC, console, Xbox, ROG Ally, Steam Deck, Switch 2, and I hold on to my money and save up for the Xbox Helix or something. Right. But you would be that person that is in the 1 percentile, right? Like I've owned up until this point, I've owned every single system up until the PlayStation 5. And that's the only console I don't own. We have a Switch 2. My son owns a Switch 2, right? I have the Xbox Series S and X. We don't own a PlayStation 5 because it wasn't necessary because we're not playing the first party title games and we were the third party, right? We have a PC, we have Steam, right? We have a laptop and stuff like that. We have mobile devices. It's like I just can't wrap my head around the price for what they're offering. Actor says at this price and performance, I'm convinced that the gaming worshippers, I mean, sure. It's just really tech. People like tech. Roadkill says the Helix ain't coming out, boys. They're backtracking that like all hell. Who is? I haven't seen one thing. Who's backtracking? I mean, I wouldn't pick it up anyway if it's 5 times the amount of money that it's supposed to be. Look, something's awry with Microsoft. If it's going to cost 5 times, that means the supply chain didn't order stuff ahead of time. PlayStation got their stuff in before the increase. Microsoft didn't. Because Microsoft said that they got it in, but they got it in for their data centers, not in for the Microsoft, not in for the Xbox console. Which shows you where their business mindset's at. And can you blame them? They're making $1 billion a month for data servers. Well, I already know you're crazy, Roadkill, because you still think there's 100 million PlayStations out there. So take that what it is. Because I never planned on making one. I mean, I agree with you. I agree. I've said this on my stream. I was like, it's a little weird they don't have a supply chain when they knew they were making a box, unless they didn't think they were making a box until it was too late. Like, if you know you're making... Look, the Xbox 360 was out for 11 years. The Xbox One's been out for 13 years. I don't need a new console. I don't need a new console. This console is 6 years old. I don't need another console. The Helix comes out. I will not pick that up until 4 years. PlayStation 6 comes out. I won't pick it up until like 4 years in, unless something dramatically changes, right? Because there's not enough people that are going to pay for $1,000. So the games that they're going to make have to work on old systems. Because even if they make them just for the new systems, they will go bankrupt because nobody's buying the systems for $1,000 and then paying $90 for video games just so they can play the newest, latest game. They're like, no, I'm good. I have a PC. I have a Steam machine, right? I'm talking about like 2 years from now when the next PlayStation 6 and the Xbox comes out, right? I don't need that stuff. I already have all this stuff I can play. There's tons of backlogs. The last 3 years of gaming, 60,000 games. 60,000 games. You're averaging almost 20,000 a year. 18, 19, 20,000. Okay? Just shy of 60,000. It's like 57,000 games have come out. Yeah, good luck. Pill says we don't need better consoles, but the devs might need better envisions of their new games. They can still push the envelope to these things. They choose not to because of whatever they're doing. They're using AI to make fake frames and stuff, right? They're using ray tracing. They're using all these other things to make the witchcraft happen so that it looks better on the games. But yet, I don't need a new system. None of us need a new system because they're not making games for the new system. Here we are, 6 years in the making, and they're just starting to make games for this system only. Like Wolverine's only for PlayStation 5. Congratulations. Because they're struggling to get 58% of the PlayStation 4 owners to come over to PlayStation 5 in any way, shape, or form. Right? And they have 93 million people. But they're not coming over. They're like, hey, guess what? Upgrade it from PlayStation 4. You got Grand Theft Auto coming on. You get an upgrade for it. Hey, you have to. It's only getting made for this one. They're sending emails out to people. Hey, just let you know, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out. Can only play it on the PlayStation 5. Krebby says, after GTA 6, I think Rockstar will want to break the GTA Red Dead Redemption cycle. Could see a medieval game, could see a L.A. Noire 2, maybe take on Cyberpunk or Mind's Eye, whatever they're releasing in 2033, 2034. Shadow says the next console shouldn't even be a thought until 2030. I agree with that. Agree. Shouldn't even be talking about it until 2030. Clip says, you remember back in the day when at the end of the generation games looked so much better? I remember. Yeah. Remember? I remember. Yeah. I remember. All right, I'm going to Twitter right now, checking out what people are saying. Here we go. We got an all spec thing happening here for SteamMachine. SteamMachine spec. SteamMachine versus PlayStation 5 Pro. Here you go. Because they have to justify it, right? SteamMachine versus PlayStation 5 Pro. For those of you looking to use the SteamMachine for more console purposes, look likely want to compare to a new system to the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, the PlayStation 5 Pro, what is it, like 2 years old? Remember that now. They're comparing the brand new system to a PlayStation 5 Pro, which is what, 2 years? It'll be 2 years in November, right? So the PlayStation 5 Pro is widely considered the most powerful console on the market right now, with the PSSR, PlayStation Special Super Resolution, and advanced ray tracing offering an optimized immersive gaming experience. 120 frames per second with near 4K output is obtained with comparable games, and there's no denying that it's a titan to compete with. But can SteamMachine compare? So more insider gaming, how much does SteamMachine cost? Okay, judging by the specs alone, it's a tough matchup. Here's how they line up. Okay. So CPU, semi-custom AMD Zen 46C 12T up to 4.8 gigs, 30W TDP, 8-core, 16-thread AMD Zen 2. Okay. GPU, semiconductor AMD RDNA3 28 CUs at 2.4 gigahertz, okay, at 110 watt. This is 16.7 teraflops, AMD Radeon basic graphics engine. We have 16 gigs of RAM, DDR5, plus 8 gigs of GDDR6 VRAM. We got 16 gigs of GDDR6 and 2 gigs of DDR5. Storage is 2 terabytes, 2 terabytes. Upscaling is none. This has got the pisser. And then the price here is $1,349, and this one's $900. Remember when $900, you're like, no one's paying $900, and then all of a sudden, here comes Steam. They're like, yeah. So in some aspects, it's though compared, especially since Valve lists some specs as semi-custom, they said that you're also looking for raw performance. The PlayStation 5 Pro trumps the Steam Machine in practically every regard. Of course, the Steam Machine has other capabilities, such as simply working as a makeshift PC, but it's also just taking about its gaming potential. It's no match for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Well, considering it's a gaming, they made it for a gaming thing. Considering the Steam Machine costs $400 more than the PlayStation 5 Pro, and the fact that GTA 6 won't be playable on the launch, it's definitely a product amidst the Steam faithful. At least it won't have a pay for online multiplayer. Yeah, I guess. But there you go. So you're paying more for less if you're looking for that, for comparison. Roadkill says, 30, you're missing out. You're not playing on the Sony games, so you're not seeing the real potential of the systems. If you did, you'd be blown away. No, I've seen a PlayStation 5. I have eyes. I have friends. I understand. I'm not missing anything. Krebsy says, lighting is the next frontier of gaming. Argus says, AI-generated frames don't count as performance to me. I won't give them any points for that. What's going on, Albany? Series S plays GTA 6 and Steambox doesn't. Yeah, that is funny that you say that, right? The Steambox doesn't play that, but the Series S does. Ginger Prime says, I remember when the Switch 2 price was shown, and now the Switch 2 still is in the budget price console. Right, and it's going up in, what, $50? $50 in September? Ginger Prime says, I'm not just a fan of Sony's first-party games. I'm just not a fan of Sony's first-party games. I only had a PlayStation for Square Enix games. Altered says, the issue with the Steam Machine is using custom parts. The only Valve will update, and the Valve decides 2 years from now that it's not worth it and can stop updating drivers on the Steam Machine. That's very true. If it doesn't sell very well and it wasn't very good, they just kind of like stop supporting it, right? Just Nuv says, more or less, but also gets access to 18,000 Steam games a year. Yeah. Amazon Prime, any good deals? No good deals. Found it, Fuse episode 1, Racer, no. Seafuse $20 on Amazon Prime. Anybody gonna go see Supergirl this weekend? That comes out this weekend, right? I am not. I have no interest. It's gonna bomb. It's gonna bomb at the box office. It's not projected very good right now. This right here is actually a really good price now. So IGN says, found another Amazon resale PlayStation deal with an extra 15% off. The PlayStation Portal is $165 in used, very good condition. Discount applied at checkout. Honestly, that is a fantastic, even for a used product, right? If you want a handheld that can actually play games through the cloud and stuff now, and actually play, you don't actually need the PlayStation, it's a good pickup. Not when it came out, because it didn't do all the stuff it does now. But that's a good pickup. Everyone's like, wait a minute, I got a PlayStation Portal. Remember, those were selling like hotcakes. Remember that? They were selling like hotcakes. Same with the PSVR 2. Selling like hotcakes. A lot of hotcakes for sale. Senator says, 30, can you report if you want or wait until Thursday? But my sources hit me up and say that GTA 6 base game is $80 and the deluxe is $150. The people that leaked the stuff online said it was $80, $90. I mean, if it's $80, the problem with this is, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, Sinners. If GTA 6 comes out and says $80, $90, $100, the entire industry looks at it and says, yes, we can raise our prices. If it comes out at 70, what games are today, then everybody else goes, shit, we can't charge $70 because Grand Theft Auto is giving this much value and it's $70. So it has to be higher. It has to be higher. It won't go back down, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, it will come in at 80, and the industry will raise up everything to 80. That's what they're waiting for. They've said it out, the words out loud. They're all waiting for Grand Theft Auto. PS are doing nothing impressive. You're just comparing it to Xbox. Not doing those things also could be just as easily. Dustin says it comes out $100. I'll buy it. But how many teraflops? How many teraflops? Saint says, I'll believe it is $79.99, but online will be an additional $49.99. Wait a minute. The online is going to be an additional $50? No. Say it ain't so. Or is it just the online is $50? Do you have a source that actually shows that? Or is your source like everyone else's source? It's just online. User says, I'm so content with my Pro that I got for $700. So who's asking for new consoles? The corporations are. The corporations are, B. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need new consoles. User says, hell, tens of millions of are still playing on the PlayStation 4. Yeah, 50. This is over a year ago now, but 58%. 58% of people that were on PlayStation 4 are still on PlayStation 4. You're just guessing like a carnival game. I got you. Well, they didn't make it a separate purchase when it came out, right? They didn't make it a separate purchase. Like, if you bought the game at launch, you got the online as well. Only afterwards, people are like, I don't really want to play the single player, so they put just the online out there for people to buy. Ginger says, do you think the new Call of Duty will have a PlayStation 4 gamers upgrade? Being a new COD isn't on PlayStation 4 this year. I would, before the prices went up, Ginger, I would say 100% with you. I would say yes. But now that the prices went up, these people weren't buying the new system before. I can't imagine someone that can't afford a $500 system, $600 system is now going to pay $700, $800 for the system. You know what I mean? Like, they've literally priced out majority of the people that play video games. I mean that. There's way too many people that are not on this new system or current system that didn't buy it before because they were waiting. They were waiting for their time to be like, all right, we're 5 years in the cycle, 6 years in the cycle. The price is going to go down any time now, right? They were waiting for that price to go down so they can get in. But now it went up instead of going down. And they're like, yeah, there's no way. There's no way I'm coming in. I think there's so many games and people just wait. I think what they've done here is they've burnt the bridge, right? They burnt the bridge down where people would be like, oh yeah, I'll upgrade. But they're like, yeah, I'm not upgrading for that. Not for that price. Are there people going to upgrade? Sure. But is it going to be in the tens of millions? I don't think so. It'll be in the single digits. Argus says a majority of individuals and families alike can't afford or wouldn't pay for the current console prices. They indeed have priced out most gamers. 100%. Just Enough says, I convinced my brother to upgrade his PlayStation 4 last year before another price hike. I have a question, Just Enough. Did your brother buy the PlayStation 4 when it first came out? Or did he get it PlayStation 4 a couple years after it came out? Because most people buy a console within like 3-4 years in. Shadow says people buy Rockstar Shark cards like crazy. They can't see them changing the formula as much as they really already making tons of cash. They're making $1 billion a month. $1 billion a month. I think that's what it was, right? Let me look that up. Sorry. GTA 5 multiplayer component generate an estimated monthly revenue of 20 million to 35 million. The income, right? The income, microtransactions are shark cards recurring. 20 to 35 million. It's way less than $1 billion. But 20 to 35 million dollars every month. So 1.3, right? It would be like $1 billion a year. Daily earnings, the game pulls in over 1.3 million every single day. Every single day. Lifetime success, the entire Grand Theft Auto franchise has generated nearly $10 billion worldwide revenue in GTA, shifting close to 230 million units. Xbox Game Pass users do get a 10% discount on COD at least. We also get a 100% discount after a year. I mean, again, we'll see what happens. And they're going to cry about it. I'm going to tell you, right? They're projecting tens of millions of people buying it because of Grand Theft Auto. But then the price tag is going to hit and they're going to be like, oh, well, we didn't sell as many as we thought we were going to sell. We thought a percentage was going to jump dramatically from PlayStation 4 and Xbox One to get to the next Xbox and PlayStation because of Grand Theft Auto. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think the people on the console will buy it. Let's see. The Pro is way bigger than base, but still also the Peanut. They're only comparable to the 9060, and they both run similar settings. Yeah, if it's available on Game Pass. I mean, I'll be honest. I think what they're doing right now, it's like a 1-2 punch. Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty came out last year and underperformed. Still sold millions of copies, right? Tens of millions of copies. I think it sold like 12, 14 million copies, right? They don't actually tell you the sales, but it's around there. Because of that, now they took it off of Game Pass, right? Meaning now it's only on the new systems. Well, now you've not only cut the hand off here, but you also cut off the foot over here. And most of the people that bought this game in the past, okay, are not going to come over to the next system to buy it. They have to have a reason. It's not just one game, right? They have to have multiple games to buy. Sure, you could say that people that are buying Call of Duty are also buying Grand Theft Auto. If the average gamer only buys 2 games a year, but that's when the game was $60, $70, now you're asking for an $80, maybe to even $90 video game for Grand Theft Auto. That cuts into their budget. If their budget is $120 and one game costs $80 to $90, well, a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, I can't do it. And they're going to look for all their alternatives. All right. Prime says, I think we're seeing a pretty slow video game crash, namely because the people get priced out of the market. They also use the markets to stick with. They also have, and they also thus not buy new games. I mean, I think we're in the mix of it. Did my stream crash? Am I still here? Okay, yeah, we're still here. I saw a blip, and all of a sudden I was like, what happened? Costs have gone up. The revenue is down, which also continues with the accelerated of the crash even more. So we already seen lots of investors pull out. Well, did you see the story? We didn't go over it today yet. Well, we're not going over it today. But Tencent might be pulling investments out of their game companies, right? We have Xbox trying to sell off companies. We have people that are not going to buy, even if they get sold off. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Sony might pick them up. Okay. We'll see what happens. Justin Max says, 30, what do you think about the new Dave F. gives LF details? If what he wants is promise, you should check it out later on. I don't know what that is. What is Dave F. gives? I don't know what you're talking about there. Argus says, the SteamMachine is more powerful than my Xbox ROG Ally X docked with a 100-watt charger. I don't think there's many people care about GTA 6 as much as I think they do. I don't know. It's definitely going to break records. I used to love GTA until the focus became online. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I haven't played the online. I played it when it first came out. Liked it. Back in 2016, it blew up because of the no pixel and stuff like that for the role playing on Twitch. It was one of the biggest things. Krebsy says, paper math doesn't mean much. On paper, Series X was stronger than the PlayStation 5, but outshines Series X majorly on the time because the stuff on PlayStation 5 speak to each other better. Yeah, I was buffering like crazy. And I don't know what it was, Krebsy. I just refreshed. I went to my YouTube channel for a second to see, because on my side there was a blip. So then I went to the phone to check, and it was buffering, and then I just refreshed it. I think it's because we passed over the certain mark when you stream on YouTube, and they move you over or do something. I don't know what the fuck they do. Talking about Lucasfilm, is Lucasfilm short term? How he share the new details, what he wants? No, I didn't see any of that. Pill says GTA Online is super fun when you play with friends. And also basically one of the best games for social gaming. I mean, we had a blast back in the day. I remember when it first came out, it took 18 months to get the fucking bank robberies settled and actually fixed in the game. It was fun. I mean, I owned the game 3 times. I had it on the Xbox, and I got it for the Xbox, Xbox One, and then we got it for the new. No, we got it for the 360. Then we got it for the One, and then I got it for PC. I forget that it was on the 360. I forgot that GTA 5 started on the 360, then moved over to the One in PlayStation 4. Clip says, yeah, it's pretty awesome now because you can actually be in a private server and you can just play with your friend. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, well, that's fun. Maybe we'll do that one night. I didn't know you could do a private server. It's insane. Yeah, it made it through 3 generations of consoles. Think about that. It started on the 360 and PlayStation 3, moved over to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, moved over to Xbox Series S and X and PlayStation 5, and it was also on PC. Like, what? Later, Ashraf. Yeah, it's crazy how actually... Asus ROG Xbox ROG Xbox Ally, $460 on Amazon resale. So if you're looking for a handheld device, it's $460, which looks great now that you know the other device costs $1,000. $460 and then 20% off at checkout. It's somewhere over $1 billion, which they'll make back day one. They'll probably make money back in pre-order sales alone. All right. I think that is going to do it for me today. Yeah, it's crazy figures. We'll be back tonight over on 30 and Still Gaming, which is our gaming channel. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I do appreciate you very much. Don't forget, you can watch me every morning, Monday through Thursday. You can also watch me over on Fake Wizard News on Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. And then we also do our podcast on Thursday nights of Generation X Gaming. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, and night, wherever you are. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Nothing's the same.